The gloves.
Yeah.
Bernard.
I'm glad I'm talking to my guy right here. I had to send one guy home just now, just telling him that I'm talking to him. And listen, let me tell you about the comeback. No. See, breaking news. See?
We were all
Great
there
fight.
ringside.
But listen. Let me button up a little bit because you got the cameras up there. I know I'm going to be all over social media. There you go. I'm having such a great time. And am I shocked or am I 515151? So I won't forget it. It's an easy number. No, but I'm at a very good place. Not only personal-wise, like far as I get to see my 5-year-old even more now, as you know. My daughter's 17. She's hit at the NYU.
Congratulations.
Jeanette, thank you. Jeanette is fine, and I get to spend a little time home, even though you'll probably say, wait a minute, he's on HBO next week in DC. He's doing the ESPN every other week when I can. And also, I'm still scouting for fighters because they normally come to you or somebody representing them come to you. But I'll also be at places where I go and see certain gyms, whether it's in, believe it or not, in the Bahamas or here or there. I love what I do, and that is not only be a part of boxing in the ring for 28 years, but now show the talent that I always wanted to really 100% give out to people that's watching that didn't really know I had it to this point. Yeah, they know I can talk. Yeah, they know I'm very conversational. I'm not shy, obviously. I mean, those things are given. But to be in position to have a transformation from the sweet science in the ring and teaming up with Oscar De La Hoya, my partner, a loyal guy, for 14 plus years. And now at this level of teaching through TV as an expert analyst on one of the major, if the major network in American TV and sport.
The worldwide leader.
Is HBO. What better platform than those platforms that I just mentioned to go ahead and to show the other talent, and even more, believe it or not, that's going to show or be shown in time. And so I'm just taking it all in and picking my spots to be able to show the talents that you and others never seen before. And this is where the second half of lifespan on this earth, I'm 52. And if I'm blessed through good health and the right place at the right time, I'm looking to be around for another 40 plus more years. And to some, that might be not as good for most, I believe, or I want to believe that is inspiration, is motivation, and is also I can instead of I can't. I am the prime example of anyone, black, white, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, Buddha, or whoever or whatever you represent, to understand that you are in charge of really your own destiny, even though powers are over you in certain scenarios in your life, that you can even overturn that and change that to be your own boss in a way of controlling what you do and not do in life. So, if you want to be a boss, you can't talk about it, you got to be about it, you got to start tomorrow. If you feel that you're not that now. And that's what I took on years ago when I became not only a boxer, but a businessman in boxing. And one of those business moves was representing myself, self-managed since 1995, turned pro in 88, do the math. This is not bragging. I hope it's motivation to some that either read this, see this, or even social media. You must understand that this the way I feel, this the way I would die, this the way I will operate from here for the second half of lifespan, all the way out from the cradle to the grave, I will represent what I represent in the ring in a different platform right now.
Bernard, I got to ask you, because we didn't get to talk to you much after what was the end of one of the great careers in boxing back in September. A lot of your fans, they were sad to see the great Bernard Hopkins lose his last fight, but what was your perspective on it? Because another perspective might be that you went out like a warrior. You kept fighting until, you almost couldn't physically fight anymore. What was your perspective on what was a great career and how it ended?
First of all, you can't take that away from Joe Smith. Joe did his job in the ring. He trained, he came prepared. And one thing that, the maturity from asking me this question, 15 plus years ago, it would have been some, type of reason. But I always fought in my era the toughest and the baddest, and especially if you got a title guy in my division. And boxing now is getting back to that, and it's going to happen. Whether it's Canelo Triple G, Canelo Chavez, fights that are happening now that nobody expect to happen. Amongst other promoters and rivals that's throwing fights that we never thought that was going to happen. So we do see some changes, and I hope to see more, and I believe we will see more for the better of everything. And that is the fans and boxing, period. But back to Joe Smith. Joe Smith, strong. He's going to be a force in the light heavyweight division, by no doubt. Whether it was me at 35 or me at 51 or 52. Can't take nothing away from me for the good, tough fight, while it lasted. And I respect him and I wish him well in his career. When it comes to fighting the best in your division, in any era, before or after, that stays in history minds of the fans and also boxing. Even if you come up short, but you fought the best where you could have fought this guy or that guy, that lasts longer in boxing minds than fighting fights that didn't matter only to your bank account, or fighting fights that didn't matter only to your ego. When you have a track record of that, to me at the end, that will be part of your legacy along with the good things you did. I wanted to be no debate or no argument when my record in historic career is on the table. That the debate gonna have to be not long, but where we put him at. Do we put him as greatness, would be second to be iconic, or further to the point where you get to the point of saying that amongst fighters in almost 100 years or more, Bernard Hopkins is right up there with the greats. That to me is something that football players, basketball players, in any sport, and especially boxing, is a very, 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 very uncrowded house. Uncrowded house. It's not crowded up there. And so to be a part of that conversation and knowing that I'm more in than out.
All the way in, I would say all the way.
The more in than out. To me, it's like job well done. My career has been overextended about at least conservatively 15 to 11 years prior to promising my mother at 40. So you take 16 years later, maybe a number off or number two. Never been a math genius, but I can count money good. I am blessed. I am overly blessed through hard work, right? Patience, and a lot of tough skin. Layers of it. So I hope that through my trials and through my success and failures,
where's the ladder?
Someone out there,
can we get a ladder? Or are they going to bring? Oh, those. Yeah, I'll
be inspired by. I'll pick myself up from my bootstraps with some help along the way, and made something out of a life that could have been wasted.